And for more on this court ruling, I'm now joined by Zehir Omar, the lawyer that's representing the Society for the Protection of Our Constitution. Very good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. The judgment today was not in your favor. They found that most of the presentations from your side were hearsay, that you did not actually go into the shaft to get a proper representation and understanding of the status of the illegal miners that are down there.
You see, the judgment of Newcastle J this morning is best described to be an expression of a complete disentanglement of the rule of law in South Africa. Now, I say this for the following reason. We have a case in our case reports. It's called McWilliams versus McWilliams, 1911 AD. This case is authoritative for the view that if a person is accused of a wrong, and that person does not challenge or deny it, then that person's utterance must be accepted to be an admission. There was not a single denial that Minister Ntshavheni, attached to the offices of President Ramaphosa, denied having uttered publicly the words that she wishes to starve the miners trapped under the ground and she wishes to have them persecuted. That was sufficient for Judge Newcastle to grant the first order, which resulted in hasty steps to remove the trapped miners. And suddenly, to make an about turn that the judge did in her judgment is frightening and shocking for the jurisprudence of South Africa. Al Jazeera had live pictures throughout the weekend showing how these miners were being removed. It is inescapable that indeed what was placed before the judge in the interim, before the interim order was made, was in fact the truth. The judge's judgment is with respect to a departure from justice and the truth, and it's a serious indictment to the rule of law practice in South Africa.
But do you not perhaps think that the state feels vindicated, especially with the developments from last night at Stilfontein, where we saw those 14 illegal miners walking out of the shaft, seemingly looking healthy and, well, not say well taken care of, but they were strong enough to be able to walk out of the shaft. But your intelligence says otherwise, that they're actually way deeper than the 2.5 kilometers that we've been told. What are your thoughts when you saw what happened last night there?
My entire case was underpinned by the utterances of a minister in the office of the presidency. The people who were removed were emaciated. They were interviewed. They said there are others sleeping on corpses. There were people in there who lacked water, who lacked food. There was a mother crying on national TV, begging that her child be removed, even if the child be arrested. And arrest is, by the way, the most harsh method of securing the attendance of an accused at court. The judge was clearly wrong because the minister issued a directive to all the police officers in South Africa, warning them, cautioning them to use the most least harsh method of securing the attendance of an accused at court. The judge disregarded a directive given by the minister. He again, she was wrong. How do you arrest people who are in such a terrible, horrible state, who were reported to have been underground for weeks without food and water? That's the height of cruelty.
So going forward, what recourse will you take? Are you looking to appeal this decision? What options do you have? And in terms of the evidence that you'll be bringing going forward, are you confident that this is something that the court will be able to accept as not hearsay, but as solid evidence in support of those illegal miners?
I have conducted intensive research. I have already prepared a letter which I'm sending to the prosecutor of the International Criminal Court. This is being done in terms of the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court. South Africa is a signatory to the Rome Statute. I'm going to ask the prosecutor to investigate Minister Ntshavheni and Ramaphosa's involvement in a crime against humanity. The conduct of Ramaphosa, by his failure to dissociate himself from the utterances of Minister Ntshavheni, makes him complicit to the crime against humanity as contemplated in Article 7 of the Rome Statute. Minister Ntshavheni, by her admissions, is clearly guilty. They will, God willing, be hauled before the International Criminal Court. Ramaphosa cannot get away with Marikana, Pala, and now Stilfontein. It will be a sad day in South Africa if we're going to return to the cruelty of the days of apartheid. Even worse, we will not allow that to happen. I hope Ramaphosa gets a very, very clear message.